So I could be wrong about this, and if I am, correct me in the comment section below. Tag a creator who's doing this. If you're doing it, share some inspiration over on Instagram. But I'm having my nightly planning session. I like to have a daily touch point with my planner every single day, so that way I can maintain consistency with my planner. And so I like to incorporate planning in my nightly routine. That way I can map out whatever I'm doing the next day or once I wake up, and it just helps my day run a little bit smoother. And so I was sitting down and I'm sitting with my cloth and paper daily dated daily inserts, and I'm like, oh, I want to switch it up a little bit. I want to switch up how I'm using them. I'm loving the inserts, but I'm just like running out of ideas on how to just kind of make it my own, right? And so I got on YouTube and I was looking for some videos and some inspiration there. I got on Instagram and I started looking for some inspiration there, but I'm not seeing any creators creating any content around their dated dailies, and I'm just like, why is this not like a popular insert from cloth and paper? So I was like, well, nobody's showing it right now, so let me have a little vent session with my subscribers, and then why not just show how I'm currently using them? And if anybody's out there who are using the daily inserts, we can have a little conversation down in the comment section below. I just wanted to hop on and show you guys just a little bit of what my current setup is like and my current usage of my dailies. Anyway, this is a very informal video, by the way. I just wanted to vent and share some inspo. All right, so this is my little setup right here. I have my iPad here just because I use HoneyBook as my CRM for my business, and I have my HoneyBook connected to my Google Calendars, and my Google Calendars connected to the calendar app on my iPad. And so every night I just pull up my calendar here. I'll see what task or what meetings I have for the next day, and then I'll just fill it in my planner here. And again, I like to have a touch point with my planner every single night. And this is my baby right here. If you guys have not seen my 2025 planner setup video, I'll leave a link to that in the description box. More specifically, I just wanted to show you guys how I'm using my dated daily inserts. Each week is broken up into 2 spreads. So I'm loving that because it just allows you a lot of space, especially in an HP Classic like I have. But for on the first spread, you have a calendar here, and then there's a line section for you to be able to jot down like any notes, any memos, to-do list there. And then on the first spread is broken up into vertical columns for 3 days. And then with the second spread is broken up into vertical columns for 4 days. And so you have your whole week here. Each day you have 4 different sections. So there's a blank section at the top, and that just highlights the date. There's a task section with 5 lines and a shorter line for like your check marks. Then you have an agenda section, and I believe there's 12 lines here. You have space or lines specifically to write down the time, and then beside it you can write down whatever the task is that corresponds with the time. And then at the very bottom you have a section for memos, and each day is broken up like that. So how I'm using them, and let me flip over to a week where I feel like you can get a really good gist of how I'm using these inserts. So for each day, I like to start off with an affirmation, and I'll just write it down in the blank section at the very top of each day. And then, of course, in the task section, I like to do top 3 priority planning for each day, but some days I have a few more than 3 tasks that I like to focus on. But for the most part, I just focus on 3 main tasks for the day. For the agenda section, the biggest thing for me right now is I want to be able to track my sleep a little bit better, and I also want to be able to just write down any big meetings or any big tasks that I have for the day in this section as well. And then I also like to just document smaller parts of my day. And so what I'll do each night is I'll go in and write down any meetings that I have planned. So like I have inquiry calls with some of my clients, or if I have a shoot day or something, I'll write those down the night before. And then throughout the day, on that specific day, I'll track what time I woke up, if I actually went to work out, if there were any other tasks like cooking, my work tasks. So if I'm blogging or I'm doing any writing, or if I'm going out and doing any gig work like Amazon Flex or DoorDash or anything like that, I like to track that here. So that way it'll help me in the long run with building a routine, because maybe I can eventually see some consistencies and figure out, okay, I like to wake up at 9 a.m. or I like to wake up at 8 a.m. That's what time I'm usually waking up. And this is what time I typically get hungry every day. So maybe I should schedule my lunch here. Maybe I should schedule dinner here. Oh, this time works for cooking. Let me say that I'm going to cook at 5:30 or 6. And so I am being really intentional about just tracking what I'm doing every day, writing down my big meetings, any big appointments that I have, and just being able to track things. So that's how I'm using the agenda section. And then the memo section, I'm using that to track my eating, to track any meals and exactly what I ate, because I'm wanting to get a little bit more consistent with calorie tracking, but I'm not doing that right now. Basically, what I'm doing is just writing down what I eat. And so I'm just using this bottom memo section right now as like a food journal, if that makes sense. And I'm doing that every single day here. So for my task list here, sometimes I use page flags. Some days I just use a highlighter, and some days I like to highlight my bigger meetings. Some days I don't. I'm just really playing around with my inserts now, but this is just basically what I'm doing every day using my dailies. And it's working for me, and I'm loving it so much. With this line section at the beginning of each week, I like to break that down into 3 smaller sections. And so I'm actually made some label stickers for this section specifically. So I have a focus sticker or a focus label. I like to have main focuses for the week, no more than like 2 or 3, but like more broad to-dos for that specific week. And then I'll break that broad to-do into smaller actionable steps or actionable to-dos. And it just kind of helps me to be able to stay on track with getting these broader tasks done. And so I use the this week label for that section specifically. This is my list of to-dos that aren't tied to a specific day. So like each day I like to like I mentioned before, I like to do top 3 priority planning. So if there's anything that I need to get done on this day specifically, I'll write it here. But if it's a to-do list item that is not tied to a specific day, I'll just write it in this section. And then at the very bottom here, I have a label for meal planning, and I'll just write down any recipe ideas or any meal ideas that I may have. And I'll just use that as inspiration to feed myself throughout the week. And so, yeah, that's how I'm using my dailies. Like I mentioned before, I'm loving using these so much right now, just because again it's helping me to stay on top of time management, kind of seeing how long it usually takes me to get tasks done, and it's really helping me to get a good idea of what a routine might look like for me. And I am starting to notice some consistencies. I've been again being very intentional about trying to get 8 hours of sleep. And so I'm just tracking my sleep right now. I'm not saying that I'm going to bed at a specific time, but I'm looking for consistencies, like what time am I waking up every day and what time am I going to bed. I'm trying to lose weight, y'all. And with losing weight, yeah, a lot of it involves, or the majority of it involves actually eating better, but a large portion of it is also like how much sleep you're getting. And so I'm just really focusing on that right now. And again, it's helping a lot, just because I'm able to see what I'm doing. And yeah, so I just wanted to hop on and share how I'm using my dailies. I haven't seen a lot of creators sharing how they're using theirs, and so I was like, why not just make this video, and maybe that'll inspire other people to share how they're using their dailies. And that way we have some inspiration here, because I love these inserts so much. I thought I was united in holy matrimony with those horizontal weekly. Again, I'm just loving how everything is coming out. I just want to see what other people are doing. So again, drop a comment. Let me know how you're using your dailies. Anyway, if you like this video, you know what to do. Scroll on down the page, find the subscribe button, click that. Click the bell icon right beside the subscribe button. That way you can be notified every time I upload a new video. Check out the description box. I'll leave links to all the videos that I mentioned here. I'll also leave links to my Instagram. That way you can shoot me a message there if you're using the Data Daily. Show me how you're using yours. I would love to see it. And we can continue that conversation over there. Probably give you a shout out over here on the channel as well. And yeah, that's just that on that. Again, this is a very informal video. I just wanted to hop on and share that. And anyway, it's getting late. It's 11:44 right now. Again, I'm working on getting my 8 hours of sleep. I want to be able to get up at 8 o'clock in the morning tomorrow. So we are about to go to bed in just a few minutes here. I need some water though. There is nothing like waking up in the middle of the night and you're thirsty. You reach over to grab your Stanley Cup and you take a sip. It is the most refreshing experience ever. If you have a Stanley Cup, you know the vibes. There's nothing like a sip from that Stanley Cup when you are thirsty. It's that water just hits on a whole different level. Anyway, let me get off because I'm sitting here babbling at this point. So good night, y'all.